Yep. Now these two have teeth marks on them, so somebody used pliers or vice grips on them before, which is why they look the way they do. Oops. We pull this hose through the other way, get it out of the way, because that screw is definitely stripped. Look at that. Yep, somebody used pliers on it. So it's just what I'm going to, and that one also has plier marks on it. Okay, so I got that one started. Good. And this one here is going to be a bit more of a challenge, although there's teeth marks on it. With this bracket in the way, it's going to be a bit more difficult. There we go. Got that one. Well, at least they tighten these up. Okay. So let's get these off here. And see what kind of beautiful job we have from the previous owners. So I don't see a gasket. I'm not sure if it was supposed to come with a gasket or not. But whatever it was right there is almost non-existent. Or is that just mud caked in along the seam? So that could be just mud there. And I'll take and clean that off. Get a rag here. Get a rag and clean that off there. I'll clean all that material off. And there is quite a bit of sediment in the bottom of this carburetor. Now, when I bought the bike, they said it was freshly rebuilt last summer. So definitely looked like someone had it apart, but there's a lot of sediment in the gas tank, and like I expected, there's a lot of sediment inside the carburetor. And there you can see the sediment down inside of there. So you can see that. And floats look pretty good. Let that drain out. A float pin and float weight. Let's get those two out. And that also looks pretty flat. I'm going to put this back in here. So I'll put everything back almost the way it was when it was together. So hopefully you can see that. Shed a little light on there. So not looking too bad so far. Take the bowl drain off. And what I'm actually going to do is soak all these parts in some seafoam. Just going to take a can of seafoam, and I'm going to soak all these parts in some seafoam in a bowl. And hopefully that will clear up any junk that is in there. Okay. I'm just draining out any extra gas that's in here. And I'm going to, all these areas, I'm going to open up all these screws, and as I spray the carb cleaner in there, I'm going to let the carb cleaner go through every nook and cranny inside of this carburetor. So you can see some of the screws you can see where they all go. So you have your choke for the fuel air mixture, and here is the pilot jet for the air to come in. And here you can see the idle screw comes in there. So how much fuel comes through initially in the tank. So I'm going to, like I said, take these hoses off. I'm going to take this hose off. I'm going to take the choke off. I'm going to soak all of that in some seafoam. And here we have, almost, should be metric. Of course, my wrenches may be perfect. Good. I was worried it might be a size in between what I have, but it looks good. And there is the choke assembly. So everything out, you can see how the spring lets the choke. So when you pull that up, it locks up in place and lets fuel through, more fuel through than normal. Kind of opens up the floodgates. And more fuel in the engine when it's cold will help it ignite faster to get you started in the cold weather. So I'm going to take this. All these parts are going to get soaked in seafoam, like I said. And the rest of it, I'm just going to spray out with some carburetor cleaner.